For the last couple days we've been putting together the John Deere 4240. Now it's time to go in and invoice. We took the time in between hauling grain to assemble it, and I want to take you guys along and show you guys the fun part. We're not going to go through the part of invoicing, but come along today for more life on the Great Hope Ranch. I don't know if B sent it to Renata. She showed me there's a picture of a mechanic that has a car stripped right down, and that's basically what we had this tractor, right down to the bare bones. We had the cab off, the engine split off the front, the transmission all apart, and it was due to the fact that the PTO would not hold any load, and what happened is the front bearing went out and the gears separated and it stripped all the gears off, and we'll show you those parts here shortly. But this picture shows it's kind of a comic clip, and this mechanic has the car stripped all apart, and the I think that the customer walks into the shop and he says, turns out that you had a marble in the ashtray, because he must have had a funny noise. I was thinking about that when I pulled the tractor out and I parked it. Mom walked up and she goes, there's the problem, or he's missing his Deere. His John Deere emblem on the front of the tractor was missing after I finished it all. And you know, if I would have known that right from the get-go, that it was just missing the Deere, it would have saved me a lot of time and a lot of work. Come along now as we put this tractor back together. We're going back together with the 4240 tractor here. You guys are probably thinking this guy's had this in there forever. But if you ever wonder why it takes long to get this older equipment back from the mechanic, before we left, I was putting it back together and I missed something. Probably to lack of experience. I don't work on tons of tractors. I work on more semis and so on. But this piece right here is the PTO brake. And I don't know if you guys see anything wrong with it, but when I was putting it back together, I started to look closer at it. And I realized there's no brake material. It's gone. It's metal on metal. It hasn't done any grinding or anything, so I had to order that, and the whole rigmarole going around with getting parts and everything. We got that back. We got it in. Right now we're just we rebuilt the valve body here for the clutch control pressure and the PTO control pressure. And when we were rebuilding that, we found a piece of metal, which is kind of a blessing to find things in a way. But this tiny little piece of metal right there was stuck in between the regulator on the spring and the piston. And the customer was complaining that, well, first complaint was the PTO was not working. Second complaint is that the clutch is really grabby, like it really grabbed, and that's the modulating pressure for it, and that's what was throwing it out to lunch. It's always not. It will be nice when we get back together and we can try it. now for the moment of truth. We got the cab on. Everything's hooked up. We want to test everything before we put all the shields and the hood on. Okay, here we go. Lights are on. We got power here. Oil pressure lights there. Let's see what happens. Now this is the test when we let go of the clutch, where all the hydraulic pressure is. Now we gotta go out and check for any leaks. So everything looks good. I'm not sure if you guys enjoyed this mechanic stuff, but we're gonna get all the shields on, get it out and put it to work, and that's gonna be the final test. Thanks for coming along on putting back together the John Deere 4240.
With that tractor, it lost its gear.
I think there's more problems with that tractor. You can see that we got an empty hole back here. The John Deere 4240 is out of the shop. One thing most people don't realize though is this is the aftermath, and it just don't clean itself either. There's tools laying over here, tools laying over there, and that's just part of the job. But we got to clean that up, which is going to take some time to get it all tidied up. And it's too green now to combine. We kind of got caught up to all the grain, so we have to let it sit for a couple days. And a lot of times when it's green like that, usually it might not be till next week till we get going again. I'm sure that my customer will be happy because he's actually just the neighbor down here, and I saw that he knocked a whole pile of green feed down here a couple days ago. So in a few days he'll be baling it. So he primarily, that's what he puts up is just green feed. He doesn't have any hayland like we have. He's got just a tiny bit, but so timely, it worked out for him. We got the tractor, everything seemed to work good. I'd like to go make a couple bales, but I'm pretty confident what happened with the gear stripping off. I'm pretty confident that he's not going to have any issues. As you can see, the remains of his parts right here, and you can see the edges of the gears are stripped off here and down there. We replaced that shaft, those two gears, this input shaft, the PTO clutch brake and this oil shield. So thanks for coming along and the interest in the grunt work of mechanics. I guess that's why we're called grease monkeys. I can see a little on my forehead, but thanks for joining us, and make sure that if you want to continue, stay tuned for more life on the Great Hope Ranch.